The Democratic Republic of Congo is located in the heart of Africa and has a population of 80 million people. It's the largest Christian nation in Africa, with 90 to 95% of the Congolese people professing faith in Jesus Christ. The DRC is extremely rich in natural resources and is estimated to contain $24 trillion in raw material. Mineral wealth includes copper, diamonds, gold, silver, tin, and coal. The DRC also provides over half of the world's supply of both coltan and cobalt, minerals used to make electronics such as laptops, smartphones, cars, and other products that you and I depend on daily. Despite the tremendous wealth in raw materials, the DRC has been ranked by the UN as being last in the world for quality of life for people who live there. Most of the world's largest and best-known electronics companies depend on the exportation of materials out of the Congo, yet the profits don't remain there. This kind of exploitation of the Congolese people and their resources is driven by the consumer and industry demands that have been a tradition for over 200 years, and it's the greatest contributing factor to the Congo's current poverty and political instability. Today, the UN International Emergency Fund suggests that about 40,000 Congolese child miners fuel our major electronics and car manufacturing companies to meet the consumer demands for cheap labor. Since 1996, 4 million Congolese children have died as a direct result of this exploitation. A lack of money means fewer paying jobs and a 90% unemployment rate. Subsequently, the average Congolese person lives on 72 cents a day and can't afford health care, not even emergency medical care.
If you live in my country, you can see many people with diseases, but they are unable to attend hospital as there are so many fees there. So we need the heart and the hands able to help us to meet the need people have in our country.
In countries like the United States, we worry about childhood obesity, when in country like the Congo, kids are dying day in and day out. A child is lost every 10 seconds. And so we wonder, why is it that there is such an inequality? But truth of the matter is, this inequality did not happen by itself. It is designed in order to provide cheap labor and in order to provide cheap material. In other words, this allows us to afford a lot for less when there is people that are paying for it. And so the question is, how do we tell someone who does not know God that God is just, that God is love, when we as the church miss to represent God as such? And so when we start asking these questions, we realize that we have a lot to do as the church.
My husband Tom and I are both in the medical profession, and we had very illustrious careers here in the United States. And one day we had an opportunity to visit a hospital in another country.
They literally are doing surgery on a wooden table that is pushed against an open window. The open window provides the light for the surgery, and they're doing it with whatever equipment they have. What we saw there was that they are very, very capable, well-trained physicians and nurses, but they simply have no equipment to work with. So the need is just so obvious. We at the same time know that here in the United States we have literally tons of medical supplies and equipment that we just simply throw into the landfill. Our hearts should be broken watching all of this go into our landfill when it could be doing somebody so much good if we simply process it and send it overseas.
Starting a clinic in Congo is very important. I know there are hospitals, but as I say it, fees are very high, and the people are not able to face that kind of fees. But now, starting a clinic in the country and in the main city as Kinshasa will be a great blessing for families with very low income.
Most of the time when we have a mission trip, we go to remote countries to serve. And somehow, what we create, it's a different situation where the people that we serve become dependent on us. And so it is important not just going there to serve, but rather to train people so that they can be able to duplicate the same thing when we get back home. And by going in the Congo and starting this clinic, our hope is to train the local people, the churches that are in the Congo, so that they can learn how to help one another. They can learn how to meet the need of their community.
Representing United for the Future, last summer I met with Christian partners in the Congo to plan a nonprofit, low-cost medical clinic. We want to provide healthcare primarily for women and children and focus on preventable healthcare, including education, immunizations, and early diagnosis. This is a Christian team project, and united, we can make a better future for many people in Congo.
The question is, how do we as the body of Christ respond to the needs of our Congolese Christian brothers and sisters as we have become aware of their plight, knowing that many of the comforts and luxuries that we have become accustomed to as a part of our daily lives are tied to the situations that keep their lives below an acceptable standard? Would you make it a habit to pray for the Congo? Would you please find out how you can support the project of the clinic in the Congo and give the gift of life to many? And finally, would you prayerfully consider being a part of a mission trip to the Congo to use your gifts and to serve, even if it's by teaching English or training a healthcare professional?